Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple One. I'm going to talk about an article I just read, and it goes hand in hand to boots on the ground reports I get from people talking about, how expensive it is for every time they go grocery shopping. But first, let's go over this article. It basically said that the majority of Americans, about 86%, said that they feel a little bit of stress every time they go to the grocery store because of the amount of money they have to spend. And 53% says it's a major source of anxiety when they have to go grocery shopping. And I can tell you it's true. You go there and it's like the prices are overwhelming, or they're taking the packages and putting 3/4 of the product in it and charging you the same amount of money. They also said that 62% of Gen Zs have no emergency savings. And that's crazy. And then they went through, and a lot of other people don't have, a huge emergency savings. People are living paycheck to paycheck. I don't know how some people are doing it. 51% of Americans would have to use a credit card for a $500 emergency. So they don't even have $500 in emergency funds sitting there in case, a couple tires blow out or something breaks. They also said that 76% lack a credit card that is just set aside for emergencies. They have to use their everyday credit card. If you're looking at the credit cards, the amount of people that are not paying their bill on time is just going up, up, and up. And it's the stress. And then you throw this tariff situation in. President Trump thinks we took in 50 billion or 20 billion this month. You're basically getting money from Americans. It's just another tax. I know what he's trying to do, try to bring manufacturing jobs back. But people have got to survive before manufacturing jobs get here. And it's just another tax. And the government gets the money and they waste it. I was reading that I think we go $1 trillion in debt now every 100 days. I think we're paying $3 billion a day just in interest. The numbers are unbelievable. It's going to collapse. And that's why I'm frantically trying to get infrastructure projects done here. Nate lives next to me. So when I pass away, this is going to be his. I do have a daughter, so she's going to get some other things. What I'm trying to do is the grandkids won't have to struggle as much. Because right now, the numbers for 30-year-olds, I think it's like 11% of 30-year-olds are actually married and own a house, or at least have a house, making a payment on a house, not renting. The numbers are crazy. And I'm seeing this in just the products I got to buy. So I'm building a building here. Basically what you're going to see here is from that wall to there is a little over 18. So there's going to be an 18 by 70 right here. And then going off of that will be about a 10 by 36 wing. It's taking a lot of money. Now you say, Dave, how do you do it? It's called salvaging. This is a building I took down. I took down another building. A lot of people put up metal carports, and they might, be renting long-term rent, and then, they have to move. And a lot of them just say, hey, give me $1,000. A lot of times people say, hey, just come get this thing. I got to get out of here. Come get it. So that helps by salvaging. These 12-inch blocks I bought 5 years ago. I've had them stored for that amount of time. And I'm glad I had, because they have gone way, way up in price. All those are blocks that I salvaged, hundreds and hundreds of them. But there's something wrong with each one of those. Now, I could salvage all those and get the cement chipped off, but it's just time. So I'm going to turn that into fill and put them in that corner there to extend my pad to give me a little bit more room. So putting up this retaining wall, when you live in the mountains, you got to do crazy things to get a flat space. But I'm going to put this behind here. This is a 6-inch wall. This is a 12-inch wall. Every single one of these has a piece of rebar tied into the footer. So this wall is going to be very, very strong. And then I put a 6-inch wall behind it. These I got for free. I've had these blocks for probably close to 30 years stacked over there in the woods. I've probably got a couple thousand that we've used on projects around here. But we're pretty much getting pretty low on the 6 inches. I think we got one pellet left. I got these absolutely free. That was a long time ago, a long time to store them. So, it's good that I'm using them up, because it's cleaning up a mess, and I'm using them. It cost me zero. So that's how I can do project after project. Just salvaging, just getting something, knowing I'm going to use it eventually. You know, some people say, hey, Dave, that's hoarding. It's not hoarding. It's stacked up nice. It's sitting there. I know what I got. So what I'm going to do is on the back side of this wall, I'm going to drill through the 6-inch and I'm going to peg. So I'll probably have, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, 80 pegs of rebar pegging that 6-inch wall in with the 12-inch wall. And then in the corners, this is what I do. I got to cut a few blocks and put here. What I do a massive build in the corners. So this is all going to get pegged in. So this will be just right there, be 24 inches of concrete. I'll put a French drain in here. This is not that tall. It's not holding back a lot, just to give me room. Because in the mountains, you have to cut. I literally had to cut this flat spot. The hill went like this. So you just cut it. And I'm putting a nice wall there. I could taper that down, but I don't want to. I want a nice clean look. And this is just going to be, these are what I got. I went ahead and bought a bunch of these. They were very affordable. All they were was the top bow for a metal building. And I got them very cheap. And I've had them for 5 years probably. But I'm going to use them. And I'm going to make a building. And this will be for, look, equipment that's sitting outside. That should be undercover. You will never have enough dry storage. And what I'm doing is trying to make infrastructure for what's coming. If we get a total collapse, I might have to support more than just me and my son's family on this piece of property. Maybe someone else will have to move in here. So having infrastructure, dry storage is a big plus. So that's what we're working on. It's going to be rainy all this week, so we won't get much done. The next thing we got to do, that big old tree has got to lean this way, and if it fell, it'd fall across this building. So I'm actually going to call a buddy. That's a professional, and I'll pay him a few, whatever he wants, to have him just set it on the ground, because I am not taking a chance of it coming this way, going through my big building. I do a lot. We do 99.9%. But there's times when I say, hey, I'm gonna get a professional. So, concrete right there, it's going up in price too. Everything, that's ready mix. We mix a lot of ready mix with that cobalt mixer right there. That cobalt mixer has mixed, I don't know how many, I have no idea. Probably 40 pallets of concrete. Literally, probably 40. So what were we talking? 100,000 pounds of concrete. This thing's mixed and it's still going strong. Unbelievable. So that's what I'm working on. Things are expensive. It's only getting harder for people. So if you haven't prepped, if you haven't been listening to me for over a decade and getting your house in order, it's going to be harder to do it right now because it's going to cost you tons more money. And a lot of people just don't have it. So don't panic and say, oh, Dave, you're doing that. I can't do it. Do what you can do. Please do not compare yourself with anyone out there. You have to take care of your family the best you can do it. So you make wise decisions. Figure out what you need to do to get yourself more sustainable. That's the whole key. Keeping as much money in your pocket and trying to do things, grow things yourself. So in a situation that turns bad, you might not have a lot of income flowing in. But if you can clean water, a little bit of electricity, be it solar, be it a garden spot, that is what you're going to want to do. Thanks for watching.